This is going to be an assembly video of my Elite Aeon Cinegrey 3D 120-inch projector screen. As you can see, I'm unboxing in the video. Those little boxes with the red stickers on them are the frames and also the bezel. And the big box in the background is the box that the screen comes in. It also gives you these two pieces of little like foam to put down on the ground so you don't scratch your screen. I don't know if I really needed it with the carpet though. Probably could have just did it without, but if you have hardwood, definitely use the plastic. This is the version 2 of this screen, meaning that there's springs that you have to install to keep the tension of the screen itself on the frame. Version 1 uses Velcro. I've helped a friend install one of those. That one's a little bit easier to install, but this screen seems a little bit more high quality than version 1. What I was counting is, as I'm looking in those channels there, I'm counting the amount of springs that are in the channel. In the instructions manual, it gives you an amount of springs that has to be in each channel. And that way you can attach those springs to the loops. If they're not in there ahead of time, you're going to have to disassemble the screen and put the correct amount of springs in it. That aluminum frame is really soft, and I had some damaged corners from shipping. Or maybe even just from the factory, I'm not sure. You can see I'm taking the pliers and I'm straightening them there. And then afterwards I took some sandpaper and smoothed out those rough edges. So now it's time to put in the connector brackets. Those were just threaded little straight pieces that you put in to connect the two straight pieces of the frame, I guess. Like I said, they are threaded and it's a real soft metal, so you don't want to over tighten those. That's a really easy piece to put together. The next piece, you'll go into the, there I'm straightening something again. Next piece, you go into the corner brackets, and those are just connected by L brackets. I put the one screw in before I would try and connect them, and that one screw on each bracket is just lightly connected so it's easier to slide and get it to match up, and then also put those screws into those holes. If you tighten stuff down, it's really hard to get everything to line up correctly for you and square it up correctly, so I recommend just loosely tightening them until you get the all of the holes in, or all of the screws into the holes, and then tighten them up after that. So once you have all four corners of the frame assembled and the side pieces, you can unravel the screen. The screen will have, or mine does anyways, has a sticker in the back to designate which side is front and back side. If you look in one of the corners, you can see the writing right there. It says back side. You can also see by the loop there which side is which. You want the front of the screen facing downwards, and then you put the screen back on top, or the frame back on top of the screen, and match the corners up and attach the springs in the corners first. And I'm not using the supplied tool that came in the box, even though that would work. What I'm using is a cobalt hand tool that I had in my toolbox. This just made it really easy to grab the spring and stretch it and put it into the eyelets. The tool supplied would work fine too, this just works a little better. You can see I'm doing this with one hand, so it's fairly easy. The method to attaching all the springs after you have the corners done is that you start on the narrow side of the screen, either narrow side, and you start in the center. There will be a yellow spring that designates which one to put in the center, and there will also be a yellow little mark on that eyelet of the center of the screen, and you work from the center outwards. What I'm doing here is spacing the springs so that I have one lined up for each eyelet. So it's this quick method where I can stretch them and put them in per eyelet. So again, like I was saying, you start with the narrow side in the center, start with the yellow spring connected to the eyelet, and then work outwards. Here I'm working to the close side of me, then I go to the other side and work farther side away. So once that whole side is completed with all the springs attached, then you switch over to the other side opposite and do the same thing again. Work from the center outwards to connect the springs. This is real easy. This doesn't take long at all. Once you have that side finished, then you move to the long side of the screen like I'm going to be doing here and do the same thing over again. Right there I'm just spacing the springs evenly again, so they're each one of the eyelets, and then I'll go to the center of the screen and work outwards like I'm doing right here now. And that half is done. Now I go to the other side and work outwards. So that whole side is finished, and now I'm going to the other side of the screen and doing the exact same process over again. Here I'm just attaching the last part, the frame. It's just the bezel. You don't need to attach these, or at least in the version 1 you didn't. This frame looks so good though compared to version 1's frame. Version 1's frame was just Velcro tape. This screen is a version 2 and it has the nice bezel pieces. They're really small. It looks like a Screen Innovations bezel. It's about the size of a pencil. It's really thin. Even has a little name of it inscribed on it. So here's what it looks like installed in my theater. Everything was real easy to put together. It's not hard to hang. There's a couple of mounting brackets that come with it. I didn't show that in the video, but it's real simple. Have a great day.